Hey, family. Ah, Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. 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 Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Did 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 Look, um, I am going to read some scripture, right? This is just something that I said I was going to do. I was going to do. I was going to do anyway, right? Because this is just something new that I want to talk about. Now, I change my settings. Okay? So if you're 18 and under, you're welcome now. I just wanted to change it just for us as adults so we can conversate with the youth as well. I'm still keeping things like it is as far as the Couch Conversation Show, but I was doing some stuff with AI family. Um, I've been doing the talk show for some years now. So a lot of people on TikTok might just think it's a regular talk show. It is not a regular talk show to me. Um, I'm not trying to knock what you do with your talk show. If your talk show is you like to do toxic or messy TikTok, that's fine for you. That's not where my heart is at. That's not where my spirit is at. As a human rights advocate, as a community activist, as a person that tries to live to the best of his human abilities, a more God-centered life rather than a self-centered life, and it's not to make it about a religion. That's really, really important for me, even though those are the bases, that people like myself might stand on. But as I begin to grow in my spiritual walk, my journey, and y'all will hear me talk about my 12-step spiritual program, is based around the 12 steps program as well. I don't want nobody to feel like they're not welcome, right? And as I'm restreaming to TikTok, I'm also restreaming to Twitter, Twitch, 3 of my social media pages, my Facebook pages, and I am streaming to YouTube as well. My goal is to grow my live stream platform, which I already know that it is being seen all over the world. I already know that. Rather I'm doing it just on TikTok, rather I'm doing it on Facebook, rather I'm doing it on YouTube, wherever I go live at. It's a live stream broadcast. So now I'm doing StreamYard, where each one of my platforms that I put out, that I'm streaming to, I meant, if you have a question, once I get used to bringing people up on my StreamYard. I've been sending people invites to come up. I know it's a process you're going to have to go through in order to come up on my StreamYard. But I just want you to know, you are very, 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 very welcome. When you come up on my platform, no cursing, no over-talking people, no disrespecting people, no degrading people. It's a live disclaimer, you get me? Y'all know what it is. And I will repeat it from time to time. The goal is to try to post it in the background, right? But now, today, I'm looking at family. You know that? I'm looking at family. I'm a family man, right? And I love sharing anyway, y'all know. Y'all know Big Unc. I love sharing my experience, my strengths, and my hopes. I can only tell y'all, I'm talking about Steve. I can only talk a little bit about, which I try to, a little bit about how life used to be during those rugged times and how life are or is now. I wish I could sit up here and make y'all think I live this perfect way of life, but I don't. I wish I could sit up here and make y'all think everything is always peaches and creams, but it's not. Life has its challenges, but the blessing is, which I like to share back with other people, I try my best at 64 years old to try not to let it tear me apart. I don't mean no harm. I don't mean no disrespect to nobody. It's just, I do what I do. I was on somebody else's platform for a little bit. Y'all know, like I said, I'm about family. I'm about solutions. I know sometimes for the way I speak, for the way I talk, my algorithm, whatever y'all call it, TikTok base, it doesn't share it out to a lot of people. It doesn't. People with messy, toxic platforms tends to get more attraction than somebody like myself or platforms like myself that try to share or talk about life challenges and life issues, but most of all, a recovery process. If you don't share with your families and friends about the couch talk or the couch and be more team talk, won't nobody know that there is a platform that you can come on and you can be in a horrible space, but where you can come and feel comfortable and sharing about where you at. Because I understand how it is to let go of that stress of life. So that's why I always talk about my 12-step spiritual program. And I want y'all to know that the people y'all looking at, other than myself, the two younger babies are my granddaughters. That's my daughter. That's my daughter-in-law. That's my niece that's biracial. That's my nephew who's biracial. And that's my other niece. I have several. I just posted those pictures and asked TikTok to put them up in a platform like this, like background. That is me sitting right there. I love the Copeland family. I am Barbara Jeans, second to the oldest living son. So all of my uncles, all of my aunts, all of those that I grew up with my mother, they're all gone. So Vernon Copeland and Abdul and myself are the two oldest of Barbara Jean's children living. Okay? Now, let me kind of go into this because I do want to talk about family, right? I want to read Rejecting Human Control, Worth by Performance. And the reason why I've been doing this lately, family, I've been reading scripture because number one, I don't want whatever religious sector or program you in or however you was raised and whatever you believe, that's fine. My thing is, from the years that I've been doing what I've been doing, I began to, and I got to watch certain words for TikTok. So if you hear me saying certain things, that's because I got to watch it for TikTok's sake, right? Make it clear, and TikTok already know. They know I'm a community activist. They know I'm a human rights advocate. They know that I talk against organized religion. And like I said, it's not to knock it. It's just that I have a problem with it when it tends to enslave and oppress the people. Right? That's all with me. But rejecting human control and worth by performance. What's up, Corey? Rejecting human control and worth by performance. The whole goal with all of that is to move away from the religious part of things to your spiritual connection. That's all. So in Colossians 2nd chapter, verses 20 and 22, since you unalive with Christ to the elemental spiritual forces of this world. You see how I said spiritual forces? Why as though you still belong to the world? Do you submit to its rules? Do not handle, do not taste, do not touch. These rules are based on merely human commands and teachings. Now I'm going to share this, and it takes me back to make no other image your God. It talks about making no other image your God. And please catch what I'm saying. As a human being, I have an addictive personality. Anything outside of me, if I'm not careful, I will use it. I will abuse it. I will become addicted to it. Anything outside of me. So when I say that, I can talk about smecks. I can talk about food. I can talk about lying. I can talk about manipulating. I can talk about gambling. I can talk about anything that tends to gain control over my life. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I am a loving, caring, kind, considerate man. My mother taught me very, very well when it comes to raising or being responsible as a man. So the reason why I'm doing that, to say, because I know how to take care and manage responsibilities, I have to learn to do it with the balance. If I'm not careful, and that's why it says don't conform to the world, because we will take the worldly things or possessions and we will make it our God. I've done that, even down to the ex-wife, where I had to learn to surrender because I put her before God. So basically, I'm talking about a spiritual balance. Try to catch what I'm saying, please. I'm talking about a spiritual balance. That's why it says, when it talks about, even though we're in the world, we're not of the world, because we will use worldly possessions and become obsessive and compulsive with it. That's why when y'all hear me do this right here, I had to tell my flesh no, right? Oh, I need some lotion. But look, I have to tell my flesh no, right? Because I will become obsessive and compulsive. I will make materialistic things, right? My God. So when it comes to my spiritual walk and my spiritual journey, I have to pay real close attention, because I will use outside sources to make me feel whole and complete, rather than relying on the Holy Spirit. I'm talking about me. So I had to learn to practice some discipline in that area. So when I read Colossians, 2nd chapter, verses 20, 22, right? Since you unalive for TikTok's sake, it say died with Christ. You dying to the flesh. You becoming more spiritual, God-filled, holy-filled. I had to learn that. I had to practice that on a daily basis. So when it tells me, not to conform to the world, that's all it's telling me, is not to allow it to mold, shape, and dictate my life, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That's all it's saying. Now, Matthews 11, 28 to 30. Because see, like I told y'all, when I talk about my 12-step spiritual journey. I'm talking about a spiritual connection that took me back inside of myself. See, I can read about Moses' story. I can read about Isaiah's story. I can read all of their stories. That's their stories. Listen to what I'm saying. I can read their stories. But sometimes, for some of us, we're afraid to look at our own life. But we're real good at memorizing their story rather than our own. So it's not for us to run away from self today. So in the process of saying that, Matthews 11, 28 and 30, and I'm talking about a spiritual connection, okay? Come to me. Chapter 11. I'm sorry. Chapter 11, verses 28 to 30. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Jesus offered rest from the heavy exhaustion burdens and exposed by the religious system. And like I said, I have to watch things for TikTok's sake, right? I didn't understand till 3 years ago when I got arrested. God took me from Genesis to Revelation. And I really want to watch what I say about politics and organized religion. They are the same. They are created laws by man. They won't admit it to you because they don't want you to look at it as a religious thing. Okay? But it's basically set up, and I have to use my words for TikTok safety, to mentally, emotionally, and spiritually keep you in prison. To mentally, emotionally, and spiritually keep you in bondage. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually keep you trapped. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually keep you down. As a family man, as a God-fearing man, as a man that was stuck in a certain lifestyle, that's no longer in that lifestyle, who mother taught him morals, values, and principles, the difference between right and wrong. That's what scripture is all about. That's what the laws of Moses is all about. Okay? It's to teach you the difference between right and wrong. If you fall short or you break the laws, just like come on, Adam, you get punished because you disobeyed the Father. If you look at Lucifer, the angel, the archangel, when he disobeyed the Father, he got punished. Anytime you disobey your parent, they tend to punish you because they only want the best for you. This is how I had to raise my children. This is how I raised my nieces and nephews, to understand the difference between right and wrong. And I do not expect for them to be perfect, because I'm not. I'm talking about a spiritual journey. People watch you. They watch the quality of your life. They don't just watch what you say out your mouth, or they don't just hear what you say out your mouth. People watch what we do. As a father, as an uncle, as a son, my walk had to begin to match my talk. Did you get it? So now, when you look at Matthew 11, verses 28 to 30, come to me all. Come to me. Then it says, all you who are weary. And basically what he's saying on top of that, if the burdens of life are stressing you and wearing you down, beating you around, turning you upside down, turn them over to him. Surrender them all to him. So when you hear me talk about that mental, emotional, and spiritual bondage, it's about surrendering to free yourself. That's where the love, that's where the peace coming at. That's where the compassion coming at. We talking about the Holy Spirit, not based around other men. Men can't put that there. That's why when I sit back, my thing is to see where people are at. And I might say this to another woman, right? I might share this with a woman. If you in my life, you ain't got to worry about the house. You ain't got to worry about the car. You ain't got to worry about the hair, the jewelry, the gold, all that. The children ain't got to worry about nothing. But my thing is for that woman, what can you give me back? Now, everything I mentioned was based around worldly material things. Now, I'm asking you, what do you have to offer Steve Copeland? So when I tell you I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate man, when I say I'm a compassionate man, I'm just talking about emulating Christ's humility. I'm talking about the characteristics of Jesus Christ as a human being. Just the human character. That's all. Not based on a religion. Y'all the one likes to surround everything towards this religion. I'm talking about your personality. There's a good side to you or rebellious side. There's a marvelous side to you as well. You are still the same individual. That's why when y'all hear me say things like I could be a rotten, no good son of a sea biscuit, I can practice that too. But just for today, I'd rather walk in the light of the Spirit than in darkness. I'm not lost today. A lot of the stuff I used to practice, unhealthy stuff, just for the day I just don't do. And then when it talks about surrendering your burdens over to him, right? It's just talking about having peace in your life from daily struggles, trials, tribulations. They're going to come. They come to make us strong. That's all it does. It's to help us go through life in peace. Life challenges, life struggles, life operations, stuff that's out of your control, out of your hands. Go through it in peace. That's what a spiritual balance helps you to do. It helps you to recognize certain things in life, the things you can control and the things you cannot control. So when it says in Matthew's chapter 11, verses 28 to 30, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened. Basically asking you to cast your burdens, your troubles, your trials, your tribulations onto him. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Jesus offers rest from the enslavement of bondage, from the mental, the emotional, spiritual bondage. It talks about resting from the heavy, exhausting burdens. So do you get what I'm saying? Are you getting what I'm saying? He's asking you to cast all your troubles, struggles over to him. It's a lot of stuff, family, that goes on in life that we cannot control. And if you understand the system, how the system is designed to keep you oppressed, to keep you in bondage, to keep you down, it's about breaking it. But it's only going to be broken according to your mental condition. Luke chapter 4, verses 18. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recover of sight for the blind. So y'all know when you hear me say things like, once I was blind, but now I see. Once I was lost, but now I'm found. I wasn't aware of certain things. But when the Lord sent me to prison 3 years ago, and I started reading how he told Moses to go tell Pharaoh, I said, let my people go. See, number one, you got to understand where you come from. You got to understand who you are, whose you are, who you belongs to. So during this process, I'm reading from Genesis on up about the creation. Because number one, you got to get an understanding of the Creator. Or you have to get an understanding of the Word for yourself, not based on everybody else. And once I began to get a better understanding of the Creator and his creation, then I started reading about his story, how he worked with Moses, Isaiah, Jeremiah, David, King David, the prophets, the major prophets and the minor prophets. They was ordinary people just like you and I. But now I'm looking at how God came upon them. The Spirit of the Lord came upon them, empowered them, encouraged them, and motivated them. Whether they wrote their stories or not, somebody wrote it for them. The author. Somebody wrote their story. And they talked about the challenges and the things that they went through in life to let us know that we all going to go through trials and tribulations. But it's the power of the Holy Spirit that carries us, empowers us, strengthens us. So as I begin to read the stories, and God told Moses to go tell Pharaoh, I said, let my people go. Then I begin to understand why I speak the way I do against organized religion and politics. It was like God told me to go tell those that tends to create these laws of the lands to imprison mentally, emotionally, and spiritually enslave his people to where they can use us, manipulate us, and lie to us the way they want to do it to keep us trapped. So as I begin to travel through that journey, I begin to see what I was called to do. I was mad at first. I was hurt. I was hurt. I didn't realize I was walking in the footsteps of some great men and women that he called to the side to do this work. As I begin to see things coming through the journey, through the Old Testament, of how he dealt with them during that time. That was the first covenant, and how Christ was to come back to redeem us, because no matter how he would remove us from the mental state, emotional state of bondage, feeling less than, worse than, we would jump back on it anyway, because there's some sort of being comfortable in trauma, in pain, even though you don't like what's happening, but it's a form of comfort for those who've been great, for those who've been mentally, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually abused. Is some sort of comfort within that pain and that misery that keeps people in bondage. So as time was going on, I started seeing how if you don't properly educate our young men properly, they will start committing certain forms of devastation and crimes to live a healthy, productive way of life in their mindset, not realizing everything that they doing can cause them to go back into that big old slave plantation that God freed, Moses freed the people from. That war, that prison of the mind. So now I'm seeing it, organized religion. And I might have to find another word for that for TikTok's sake, to use rather than putting it in that sense. Our lawmakers are there only to create the laws. That's all. Y'all can point fingers at them for everything else. One, they ain't out there committing crimes in the community. That's normally your family members if it's your community. But you want to blame it on the mayor. You want to blame it on the governor. You want to blame it on your congressman. You want to blame it on your House of Delegate. You want to blame it on your council members. You want to blame it on everybody else, but look at how you raised yours. Because they are replicas of you. You see them behind you? They are replicas of Barbara Jean Copeland. They are replicas of Stephen Lavelle Copeland. You see them? My sons, my daughters, my grandbabies, my nieces, my nephews. You see them. Every one of them live a good quality way of life. Don't get mad. Thank God my mother taught me how to be responsible at an early young age. So I've only instilled those things back into her grandkids. My brothers, my sisters, we all raised each other, basically family. So don't get mad because I can come on here and talk about how I used to live a destructive way of life. And just for today, I choose not to continue living that sad way of life. Now, as I'm coming through old times, and I'm looking back at my old testimony, listen to what I just said. I'm looking back at my Old Testament, my destructive way of life, my habit forming way of life, the life because of my behavior, because of my thinking that kept me enslaved and kept me enslaved and oppressed, depressed, suppressed, unhappy. My Old Testament, my old testimony. Now that my life began, I begin to grow more now, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I do not want to. Just for today is nothing like having a peace of mind. I can sit here and eat all day long if I want to. But as a diabetic, I know it's not healthy for me. I can go out there and sleep and run around with whoever I want to. As a man, I don't want to sell my own self short in that way anymore, like I used to, and then brag and boast about it. This is what a man is supposed to do. So in the process of reading from the old and looking at my old practices, looking at my old behaviors, God is not just showing me how to set myself free mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, because it had to start with me in order for me to go feed others. I had to get to know self. And that's what traveling back down memory lane taught me. I didn't understand a lot of stuff. I came out of school in the 10th grade, 9th grade education. I did not realize how important it is, how important the education is. Not just how important the education is, because some people might not never finish school. Some people might not never go to college. But that doesn't mean that life has to cripple you. Even though I came out in the 9th grade, I always wanted to do two things: either drive a tractor trailer or become a culinary chef. Tractor trailer won it out. At 21 years old, I went and got my class A's. I drove a little bit on and off through my 20s. But because I was more conformed to the streets, I would work a little bit, I would stop. Call myself trying to make the fast money. I would work a little bit and I would stop. Call myself trying to make the fast money. Eventually, when I got clean at 30, almost 31, I started working a regular job. I wasn't making enough money, so I got back into trucking. And I started making double the money, almost 3 times the money I was making in 40 hours. Well, 8 hours a day. Almost 3 times that amount. So I started driving tractor trailers from there on. Well over 25 years altogether. Altogether, if you add everything, it's 35, over 35. So when it comes to us, and if you feel like you can't be successful, you can't move forward in life, I'm going to say, yes, you can. Stop being around people that's going to tell you you'll never amount to nothing. you'll never be nothing. That's their goal, is to tear your self-esteem down. That's called mental, emotional, and verbal abuse. That's the way they did our ancestors, to make them feel like they was less than. You have to keep a person mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in bondage in order to keep them down. So now, being able to grow, whose eyes are open, who sees stuff today, who was able to learn to overcome certain things spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. I retired from trucking at 58. But by this time, I'm a community activist. I'm a community organizer. I'm a human rights advocate. So I end up starting my LLC. You talking about a person with a 9th grade education. I started the LaTanya D. Copeland Housing Program, where I work with homeless individuals and families. See, y'all don't want to hear nothing like that. Oh, he bragging. Oh, he boasting. Oh, yes, he is. Why I shouldn't? Why I shouldn't? Because I'm talking about a person that came from a little to nothing to working on becoming something. And y'all don't want me to say those things to encourage others, to help others understand that you can do it too. And y'all want to get mad and run the other way because say that's all he do is say I. Who else did it? Who else am I going to talk about? I can say we, but we did not pay my bills. We did not help my children get through college. So y'all want to sit back and you say little stuff out your mouth. You don't realize it because you're so trapped that it's called mental, emotional, and spiritual abuse. When you tell a person they'd never amount to nothing, they'd never be nothing, you this, you that, you do, and you take pride in yourself doing that. So you take somebody like me, I'm gonna come around you and I'm gonna say you're a liar here. Because you are when it comes to Steve Copeland. So that's why when you hear me say this, my journey is more spiritual now than it is based around religious, because it's an inside outward thing. In your mind, you rather tell me, oh, you still trapped, oh no, he's not. You see my daughter right there with that thing, with that, well, she's in school to be a lawyer. The YT is my son's girlfriend. She's in college to be a nurse. Little Steve, his goal is to be a professional soccer player. My nieces and my nephews, they're biracial. What do I look like downgrading YT people? This is what get me about y'all. And we understand how the system works. We understand how it works, but you don't let it bog you down. If you know you was able to become successful, help others, explain to others how you was able to overcome certain circumstances in life. So when I go back and I look at the prison, the school to prison pipeline, I'm looking at all of this while I'm over there 3 years ago. God got me coming through all of this. How they will use this to keep not just the black man, It's the poor, period. The one that relies, the people that relies more on the state and the federal government for assistance. It's to keep you down. God showing me all of this, not you, not man. God walking me through this process. Post-traumatic slavery syndrome. He walking me through the process. Either you're going to stay stuck now that you know the truth, or you're going to do the necessary things to continue freeing yourself. I sat up there the other day with some people, right? And they steady saying the YT this, the YT that. I said, everybody ain't white. Yeah, but oh, they ain't white. Come on. Told y'all, I'm a community activist. I'm in it. So I see who comes for us. They ain't all white. But mostly, yeah, but you don't get it. It's your own people that don't want to see their own people succeed. Now, when you are a community organizer, when you are a community activist, when you are with other nonprofits like the ACLU, when you are with people like the Center for Popular Democracy, when you are with organizations like the NAACP, when you are in it and you see what's happening, you understand. It's the have and the have-nots. It's the power that bees. And it's not all your lawmakers. It's the ones that's in control of your lawmakers. Now, let me share this. Because I understand the system itself and how it's there, designed to help embrace you, and how it's there, designed to help break you. Either you can grow from it or you can fall from it. Keep you trapped. When I look at my family, look at them. Look at them ones behind me. Look at them. Very, very independent, responsible men and women. Y'all don't like it. Look at them. Very, very responsible, independent men and women. Young men and women. When I sit back in my chair like this and can cross my legs and look over at my family, and I'm talking about my lineage, and can look at them and be so proud as a grandfather, be so proud as a father. But y'all, when I open up my mouth to share those things with y'all, oh, he bragging, oh, he boasting, oh, he this, oh, he that. I shouldn't. Let's be real. I should be proud. I only share these things to motivate and encourage and empower others. You don't want to hear it, keep it moving. And stay stuck. So I was sharing with these people the other day too. As a community organizer, as a community individual, in Baltimore City, I spoke out on the $15 minimum wage with the organizations that I'm with. We got that bill passed. I don't hear a lot of people talk like this. And I know when I say certain things out my mouth, a lot of people get offended because they don't have the courage and the confidence. I already know. So when I speak out like on the $15 minimum wage, spoke out on it twice. And we got that bill passed. When we talk about how the powder, the Finny, for TikTok's sake, because y'all not gotta use TikTok language. So when we talk about the Finny, how I look at it as a poison, but it's put in a lot of the stuff. It's just there as far as the smugs and whatever, you know. Now they putting them in vape, but it's taking people out. So as I made a comment about the Finny that was poured into, it started, to be honest, it said how it started out in the YT communities, in the more conservative areas, right? And how it actually got poured into the poor community. This is what AI and I was talking about. Because I made a statement about the 1980 when that was poured into the community. Actually, it was poured into the community to make extra money, but a lot of people smoking that stuff, heart exploded. So it was diminished. It was poured in to dislinquish the community, get them caught up. So in reference to that, I kind of compared the Fendi to the same things that was poured into the community. And it told me, it said your speculation or somewhere along that line. It's like a great outlook how you see it, you know, because either way, it's to enslave and oppress the people on an addiction side, right? And I put in the reason why I'm making these comments, because I am a recovering addict with 33 years. So AI was like, oh, that's why he's asking this. And not only that, it's all about recovery for me. And I explained that to him too. So not only that, in saying his family, I didn't support, well, I was trying not to support the safe consumption sites. And they do have them in other cities. Since they put them up, from what I understand, they've been successful at saving lives. So we tried to get it here in Baltimore City. It made it to Congress, and Congress rejected. Safe consumption sites where people can go and actually use smugs. And if it's laced with that stuff to take them out, it's a team there to bring them back to life. Once I realized it was about saving lives, I told my director at Communities United, I said I will help them get y'all, all of us, get that bill passed. See, as a recovering addict, I know how important it is. You heard what I just said, as a recovering addict. If you're not, you won't understand where I'm coming from. It's a spiritual fight. It's a spiritual journey. If you don't know what it is to have an obsessive and compulsive behavior, mindset, my thing is shut up. Shut up. Because you can give your opinion on it all you want. When I say food, when I say smecks, even lying and manipulating can be an addiction. It's a habit that has to be broken. Some people so used to lying, it's like the truth ain't in them. And the truth is in them, but it's a sort of being comfortable with the lies, the manipulating. Come on, I played all them games. That's why I can talk about me. And I love when somebody come back and say, you, but when you practice self-control and discipline, I got you. Because that's all it is when it boils down to it. Practicing some self-control and discipline. Telling yourself no. Some people don't use those simple ways of coping with life, or just realize this is not good for me. And I could sit back and tell you, when you see certain things and you like, I'm not touching it, I don't like that, I like it, and you don't, I'll be like, wow, that takes a lot of strength and power. And I commend you. But then when you catch people like myself who will justify, rationalize why it's okay to want to eat, knowing it's going to send your sugar sky high, Steve. So let these sausage and pancakes be all right for dinner and leave it alone. And then my sugar going to drop later, so I'm going to have to go grab something smaller to put in me by 8 o'clock. Because now I got 4 or 5 hours of not eating them in me. So my body going to start fighting itself to put back out what it needs. So what that's going to do is going to cause my sugar to go. So once it get to 100, if I do not go and grab something, it's going to go under, and it's going to keep dropping until I feed it. I don't have to feed it a lot. I can eat a piece of candy. I can eat a peanut butter just to balance it back out. My doctor took me off my insulin, but still sometimes I eat, it'll run a little bit too much. I only really eat once a day. And that's what the Ozempic and all of that stuff is for, to crave your appetite. So a lot of y'all that's telling people, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. If you don't understand what's going on, shut up. Because I thought, be honest with y'all, I was doing something wrong. But the goal is to cure your appetite where you won't eat as much. And for me, I won't eat unless I'm hungry. But with me, I'm so used to eating around about between 3 and 4. And then I'll go for a walk, and then I'll come back and do my live stream. So I try to walk off. You get me the calories and everything. So it's like a repetitious habit. That's why I'm under 200 pounds now. That's why my A1C is down a lot, where my doctor said I don't have to take the meds. So the whole thing with all of that, I have to watch what I put in me, no matter what I do, no matter what I eat. You get me? I just can't have a lot. I have to measure everything out. Yes. I basically try to stick to baked chicken or fish. Once in a while, I get a taste for like spaghetti. I might make my own, because I feel more comfortable making my own than buying it outside, because I don't know what they put in it. So when it comes to stuff like, I might get a taste for macaroni and cheese. I can go and get one box and some cheese and fix it and just measure it out. You get me? I know the starch is going to turn into sugar. I already know that. So people who do herbs, right? People who grow stuff, and say, like, if you say we got brown noodles or whatever that won't turn into fat real quick, but it'll, break down slowly. See, those are the type of people I need in my life. Because at 64, I'm trying to live to be 164. I want to see my grandkids have grandkids that have grandkids. That's if it's God's will. But look, let me now, I wanted y'all to see this. This my family. This is my family. And I want to tell a lot of you hypocrites that deals with YT people, you need to stop. Because I asked some people last night, I was asking them just to be sarcastic. Is black and white people the only people that exist on this world? Because y'all sure do act like it. And then they turn around and justify it. Would y'all stop? Why, man? Do y'all know that tree that they make like people climbing up the tree to success? Every other race will work with each other to basically, it seems like it, right? To help them succeed in life. And then they got us pulling each other back down. We need to flip that around. But y'all don't want to do the work. I see it. And it's not to knock us now. It's not to knock us. Because I was sharing last night with some people how, all right, we want to blame everybody else for us. I want us to unify. I want to see the village come back together. That's why everything I do, family, I do. And I'm going to do this because I keep saying I. So I don't want y'all to take everything I say I like it's just me, right? Just me. When I mention names like Senator Antonio Hayes, Reginald Grant, Lisa Pierce, Donald Morton, Charles Carver, Marlo Hargrove, DJ B, man. These are black men and women in Baltimore City that created businesses. B-Man is the guy that I sponsored, right? He do comedy, but he do anything he can to help build and pull the community together. He's a minister as well. He don't announce it that much, but he's doing the work. Charles Carver, Donald Morton, Be More News, Marlo Hargrove, the FACE program. He worked with returning citizens and stuff. I got a list about 50 people. It's more. I know if I sit down and start writing more black organizations, and it might be a few white ones in here too, business-wise. Antonio Glover, councilman. Baltimore Peace Movement. Marcus, Fathers Fighting for Our Fathers. Come on, Bree Jones. Bree Jones is rehabbing and revitalizing houses for the low to moderate income people. Woman from New York. From what I was told by somebody, I think they said she done spread it into Detroit. Come on. Now, the people that I'm mentioning because of the things that I do, oop, there he goes, talk about himself, will strengthen their community. With the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope. With trying to build back up that village. I had to get to know people in the community. Business people. See, a lot of y'all like to talk. But the moment I say, well, what area you in? Who is you working with in your area or your city to rebuild? To gain control back over the youth and everything? I'm getting tired. Because this is real to people like me. When you know there's a mission or purpose on your life. A calling, I'm sorry. And then people be like, I want to hear him. You ain't got to hear me because I understand when I open my mouth, it's not for everybody. If I can help one person understand they walk in the right path, I might not never know who they is. I know I'm doing what God called me to do, that message-wise. I don't need 3,000 or 100,000. I wish I would, but if y'all don't, that's fine. I don't get caught up in all of that. That's y'all. What I'm trying to do, TikTok a lawyer, And this is what I have to do from time to time to make sure that I'm live streaming to my other platforms. So I have to go over to make sure that I'm streaming live. That's the message getting out. Now I'm on Twitter, Twitch. I got the 3 T's: TikTok, Twitter, Twitch. The 3 T's. What's up, melanated? The 3 T's. And I be trying to get y'all to come over here so as we talk, people in Baltimore City and in other parts of the country can hear us talking. That's y'all don't want to come over here. Look, I'm going to keep running off in my mouth. Now I just left Twitch. Now I'm going over to X. These are melanated. These are other live platforms that I stream to. All right, melanated. Thanks, bro. Look, I'm looking at Pastor Hathaway, right? And Kwaisi. Now, I do this because I check from time to time to make sure that I'm streaming, family. Just keep in mind. No problem. You know I'm here. I already know what I'm here. So right here, I keep saying Twitter, right? When I go on Twitch, which I know is X, but I'm so used to saying Twitter than saying X. So I have to make sure for me that my broadcasts are being streamed. And then I stream to the main 5, like Facebook. I'm trying to put my LinkedIn back in. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Now, the good part about it with my StreamYard now, hey, CH, once I finish my clips with TikTok now, once I finish my clips with TikTok, hey, Mike, once I finish my clips, StreamYard makes my clips, and they'll send it straight over to TikTok for me. So now I can still go in and break them down if I want, but they'll already do it for me. They'll show me some, and they'll send them to like 5 or 6 other one of my live stream platforms. So I don't have to break them down as much no more by myself. It breaks them down for me. So what I do, like right now, I'm on I'm gonna say X, right? I'm on X. So I'll push the heart, and sometimes I'll make a little comment, or I can put the comment here, and it's supposed to go to all my platforms. Now keep in mind, y'all, I've been doing this for years. People think I'm just doing TikTok. No. I've been streaming for years, way before I came over to TikTok. So now look, I'll go over to my Facebook page, right? I'm over at my main Facebook page. My main Facebook page. Then I will hit the record because it's now look, my main. You heard it. I got lowered down, but see, I know I'm here. That's my main Facebook page. Then I'll go back in and I'll hit it twice. It'll take me to my secondary Facebook page. All of my pages that I made public on Facebook now that used to be private, they can see me streaming. See, now I'm on Stephen Copeland. I'm on my other Facebook page. I'm streaming to 3 of my Facebook pages while I'm sitting right here. And then I'll hit it a couple of times. No, I'll go back out. and I'll go over the search, right? And I'll go over to, not that one right there. Wait a minute, let me go back out. And I'll go back out to my main, and then I go over to strengthen the community, right? Now, I'm not live streaming straight, camera-wise, but if you go in it, you'll see the recording. If you hit it, it'll take you over to my regular Facebook page. So you can see me live over there. And it does that with my restream, my strengthen the community. Watch. And the moment I tap on it, right, where it shows me doing this, recording, and you tap it, it'll guide you right over to my main page. This is strengthen the community right here. So I made all of my private pages public. Okay, Queen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let me see. I got strengthen the community over here. I have a new Be More City, Be More's Men of Integrity, Stephen Copeland Jr., Sports and Talents. Now, what tends to happen, like right now, when I'm sitting in the house and I'm not doing nothing, I'm going over to strengthen the community. Now I'm going into my my action items, because a lot of times people will send videos over, or they might request to come over, to come on the page, you know. So I have to go over and clear them. Mark, I told you, you are one of the moderators. Because Mark posts a lot of stuff. B-Man posts a lot of stuff. I'm just saying people that I really appreciate that keep my pages up and running, right? It's a lot of people that I see on the streets that be like, they'll sing my song when they see me and say, yeah, I be saying you on such and such and such. I just don't say nothing. I said, sometimes let me know you there. ACH, I be laying them out. Sometimes let me know you there. Now, I'm going to say this, family. I already know, right? Because I'm known as the big mouth boy, black dude. I deal with a lot of people in Baltimore City. And a lot of y'all know I'm going to pick with y'all because of what I do, CH. Y'all act like y'all don't want to be close to me. But I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Because I be running from my own self. I'll be like, God dang, Steve, you need to shut up. But I'm trying to change that, right? As far as how people perceive me. But keep in mind, my love for Baltimore City is deep. It's not personal, family. If that's the way you look at Steve, that's the way you look at Steve. But when it comes to Baltimore City, my love and fighting for our city is deep. And the only people to me from time to time that I don't want to make it real personal, but when it comes to our politicians, when it comes to our lawmakers, when it comes to our religious people, because I'm a religious man, spiritually, right? Church going, right? When it comes to NA friends, I'm serious about helping people to overcome whatever struggles. So they already know that about me. They already know. The politicians, the business people in Baltimore City. Some of them might not like the way I address certain issues. You get me? Because I'm telling y'all, they can tell you Big Unc don't play. And it's not to knock you if that's where you at with your stuff. I'm a people person. Yeah, I want to be on that bandwagon like some people are running around. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, no. They know when it come to Big Unc. Big Unc do not play with certain things. Big Unc just don't play. I just don't play. But I have to respect you for where you at and how you do what you do. If that's your way of doing things, that's you. That ain't me. I don't I try to focus more on the Holy Spirit and what I believe God calling me to do and stay firm. Oh, somebody wrote manage. Oh, they wrote a number 6. Manage your expectations when someone speaks. Nah, you can say that, but you gotta be a living example of what you speak. That's what I started learning when it comes to teaching our youth. You can run off at your mouth all you want. I realized that, family. I can tell little Steve and them, do this, do that, do this, do that. And they looking at me, well, you ain't doing it. So you better get a grip. That's why I said they just don't hear what we're saying. They watch what we're doing. Keep fooling yourself. I'm talking about the parents with the youth. It hit me one day. I told little Steve would come in the house, drop his coat on the floor. I'd be like, man, pick the up. Blah, 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 blah. Not only did I tell him that, I had to make sure I would put my jacket on the back of the chair or hang it up. See, that's what people's problem is. You come in your house, you dirty your house up, and then you wonder why your kids' room dirty. Well, whatever I do, that's on me. You don't repeat that to me. You do what I say. Now they confused, and you don't understand why. Well, I'm telling you. And I'm not trying to be smart, man. I was I come on people platforms to try to show you the utmost respect as the host. If you got a bunch of toxic people on your stuff, I'm telling you, I'm not going to keep staying around. And you want to fix people conversations and all of this and to try to fit you? No. But I'm sick and tired of hearing bullcrap. When I recognize bullcrap, it just don't feel right to my spirit. But I understand too, everybody might not believe in my way of doing things. Shalom, bro. And I'm telling y'all too, I done foster care. So I was taught how to deal with you know how to deal with children as well. You know, mainly children with trauma or issues, because most of your foster care children that's put away have trauma. So I was taught how to deal with them. That's why I listen to what y'all be saying. And what it did, it helped me to become a better parent when it came to disciplining mine. That's why I tell a parent real quick, if if you feel as though you need some parenting classes, go take up some parenting classes to better help you structure your life with your children. I just give y'all back. I just give y'all back what I was taught as a parent myself, what I was taught as a foster care parent, what I was taught as a mentor. I mentor young men. So you sign up for these programs. When I used to have the H&I commitment over the prisons, I had to sign up for the prison commitment. So everything I feed y'all back is stuff that I have actually done. The footwork. It's not based around my opinion. It's not based around what I think. It's not based around how I feel. I'm sharing my personal experience with y'all. I mean, and I already know, be honest, it's not for everybody. Everybody don't want to hear it. I already know that. Because that's the rebellious side of us. If I'm caught up in an area in my life where I need help, I'm going to go get the help. I'm telling you now. If I'm caught up with something in my life that's moving me away from my spiritual journey, that's taking me off my road, I'm going to go get the necessary help. But because of the working knowledge of the 12 steps, a lot of times we do work on ourselves. So a lot of y'all that paid all this money to get your certificate and get your license and letters behind your name, people like myself that's in recovery and been in recovery for 35 years, 33 years, I'm coming religiously from the Bible to a spiritual connection, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And a lot of y'all professionals cannot do that. I already know it. I already know it. Because you'll go right into psychosis and all of this with the brain. You will go into the mindset. That's my goal, but it's to help the individual to get in touch with themselves. Y'all treat the symptoms of whatever somebody's going through. I already know all that. So whenever, and I'm just talking about if you got your doctorate, you got your PhD, don't challenge me. Please don't ever challenge me. Because I'm going to come from a level of personal experience. And that will mess you up. It will make you feel like, well, why did I spend all this money on this? Why did I spend all this money on that? I owe $2 million back in student loans and all that. Don't get mad. I'm just coming from a level of personal experience. But it's spiritual to help balance people out emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And what I'm getting ready to do, I'm getting ready to end this live. Alrighty. Now, a lot of y'all know what time I come on, right? From 6 basically to 8. And I know that you cannot be here all the time. But when I come up, I look forward to you. I can't share this stuff by myself. I don't know if a lot of y'all be in your feelings. I put stuff up that we can talk about. Sometimes y'all will come in, you're hanging with me. Next thing I know, you wing off. And I'm going to tell you one thing about life, about recovery. When your heart, your mind, and your soul is really for helping people, you just don't talk a good game. And if I tell y'all I come on from 6 to 8, Sunday through Sunday, I'm going to put it like that. If you cannot be up here every day, Do you think I want to be here every day? But this is my talk show. So no matter how I feel, where I'm at, if I don't show up, that means I'm not really either I'm busy or I'm not in a good space for the day. But one thing about me, I just don't tell people certain things. I might run late, all that good stuff. But when it comes to the people and when it comes to who I serve, I try to stay dedicated to my calling. Yes, it gets tiresome from time to time. So many of y'all, I love the work you do in building back up in the communities. If you do not come on here for whatever city you are in and let people know what area you are in, what you are doing in DC to help make a difference, in Delaware to help make a difference, in Philly to help make a difference, in New York or New Jersey to help make a difference, in Chicago to help make a difference, Detroit. People will not know when you talk about how we need to come together as a whole, community-wise, you know, the people, all of that. You have to name where you at. And I notice a lot of times, watch my face. You'll talk about the great things, but you won't mention where you at. So how can somebody in that area who's on TikTok or on Facebook or on one of these live streams hear you mention you on 14th and U, and it's a program right there in DC, such and such and such? They know where to go, but you won't do it. You won't say it. Do y'all realize when you don't be specific about the area you in, that in the area that you helping to make a difference in with other organizations and nonprofits, people won't know where to come at? How they gonna know? But you on all these other platforms running off at your mouth, acting like you doing such a great job. And I just checked, I just listen, I be tripping out. The host might not realize it. I be trying to share it with the host. Listen to what they saying. Because you got a lot of people who will talk a good game. But you got big that'll come up and tell you, I'm from Baltimore City. I started a program here. We do this there. We do that. I work with other organizations in Baltimore City. Tell you how we fought to get the $15 minimum wage passed. Tell them how we fought to get safe consumption sites here in Baltimore City, and tell you why. You got so many people with great education just run off of their mouth with no solutions. Tell you about the other programs and nonprofits and businesses that's in Baltimore City. Give you the names. It was suggested that I put the names, the numbers in too. My apologies. I checked with AI to find out how to better grow the business, how to be more productive with the stuff that I do. That's why it's not to knock your messy TikTok. It's not to mess with your toxic stuff that sends up your algorithm and all of that, as y'all say. Drive people more to your stuff. It's not to knock you. If that's where your heart is at, that's where your spirit is at, It's messy, but you think it's your other people on your platform. No, that's you. It's you. It's a form of comfort there. I already know it. That's why some I have to separate myself from. As far as strengthen the community, the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope, where I work with our homeless and less fortunate people, where I work with recovering addicts and stuff like that, or still suffering addicts, people who trying to put their lives together. I have to stay connected with other people that's doing it. That's called networking. It's a beautiful feeling when you know you're not the only person that's trying to help do some things. So keep doing what y'all doing, because like, I understand good and evil goes together. Either you putting up stuff to help people create a better way of life, or you putting up stuff to keep people enslaved and oppressed, suppress, depress. Look at yourself. Now that God removed me from a lot of that stuff, what I look like going back feeding his people poison? You better look at yourself. It don't feel right to my spirit to do stuff like that. And act like I'm doing a great job to the community. You're lying, you're manipulating, and you're playing with yourself. I'm talking about me, TikTok. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about a lot of others. I don't play because I had to learn to be honest with me. Baltimore City, I love y'all. I do this because this is my way of doing journalism. This is my way of reporting. You know, I was going to say reporting the news. I ain't reporting the news, but I basically, basically, I wear a lot of hats. As an ordained deacon, when I say I'm a minister for Christ, because I see myself walking in the community doing what Christ did when he fed the 5,000 and all that. But see, I can't do all it by myself. So he had the 12 disciples with him, right? That's why we come together as one. Y'all didn't know that? Well, you know it now. You know it now. I don't worry about our politicians. I don't worry about our lawmakers like I used to. Know why? Because I started understanding that's all they do is create laws. We the ones that come with the solution. You can sit back and blame Brandon Scott, Ivan Bates, all of them. They are our children. And I can say not those right there. You'll see those over there, not them. They aren't in the community. Wreaking havoc back over the community. Not in Baltimore City, because none of them live in Baltimore City. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Well, now you do. We was able to provide a better life for them. So I know, number one, my family not in there wreaking havoc. And I'm talking about the ones behind me. I can personally say that. And if we do, might be one or two. Because it's always somebody somewhere that wants to play some games, which is understandable. So Baltimore City, because I come from the streets, I've been redeemed from the streets for 33 years now. The goal is to help others turn their lives around. You know what's running through my mind now? Choose this day who you gonna serve. AI helped me with a lot because I was saying you can only go two ways in life. Either you serving evil, or either you're serving evil or you're serving good. They told us not to straddle the fence. Either you're serving good or you serving evil. The good part about AI to help me understand that sometimes you can give 80% to what is evil and 20 to what is good. Then you might flip it around and give 80% to what is good, you get me? And 20% to what is evil. But it was talking about the human being as a whole. Sometimes you do right and sometimes you do wrong. And I said, okay, I got it now. As a human being. It's like we're not going to always stay on this path of righteousness. Or we're not going to always be on this path of evil. The point is, with everything that I'm saying, you learn to practice some self-control and discipline in your life. I am not, and I want to make this real clear, I am not this miserable man that I used to be. Look at my daughter right there. Look at my grandbabies right there. The two down the bottom are my niece and my nephew. The light-skinned one up top, that is my nephew's daughter. They are biracial. If you look further up, you see little Steve, Sienna, and little Steve's girlfriend. You see my nephew's daughter. You see little Steve further up top. They are my nieces, my nephews, my children. I am very, 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 very proud of them and the life that they live. That's why I do what I do. As far as, I was going to say promoting them, right? Encouraging them, letting you know it takes work, but you want better for them than what you had. I don't know what other way to put it. I don't know what other way to say it. I don't know how else to say it. I try to keep it plain. I try to keep it simple. Y'all might can't see her straight out, but that picture behind me, LaTanya D. Copeland, my sister, passed away. I named the housing program after her. I raised her 5 children, me and the family. Uh-oh, she's starting to get dark. That must be an indication. You're getting low. Yeah, it's getting low because I've been on almost my 2 hours. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I was laying down sleeping. And my phone went off, right? I'm like, I might be late, but I was still going to come on. But I'm like, I'm going back. Some days I can do that. Get up and go back to sleep. Look at this look on my face. That's a form of saying that's a happy, joyous, free guy. I don't care how y'all look at me and want to try to, well, he need to go get his front teeth in. Mind your business. But you're right. I need to go. I been lazy. I've been pretty lazy. I ain't been feel like doing nothing. But I do. I've been making doctor's appointments now. And I do need to make appointment to see the eye doctors. These are readers. So, but I can see way across the room. When I don't have them on, I can see real far. That's not a problem. It's just when it's seeing close up. So I love y'all, Baltimore. And my goal is to take care of me mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now I'm gonna tell y'all this. I do read Bible. I do study Bible. Don't get it wrong. But I look for the morals, the values, the principles contained within the Bible to live a better life. You get me? I already know about the corruption. I already know about, being deceitful, all that type of stuff. I'm just saying, I don't use it to pinpoint nobody's fault, because when I use it, when I read it, I have to look at me. Am I living accordingly? Am I being disobedient like Adam? Am I being disobedient like, I'm going to say, Lucifer, right? Because it's only one God. And I look at God, yes, as a father, because I don't have my mother. I don't have my father in my life. So I kind of look at God to fill that void. I hope y'all understood what I just said, of living the right way and understanding I can live the wrong way. But no matter how I live my life, if I live a deceitful way of life, God loves me anyway, because he already know. Y'all need to stop making people think he don't like them because of their behaviors or, gender stuff, blah, 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 blah. You get me? God loves the individual. He hates the sin. I'm telling you personally. For me. And I ain't letting you and nobody else try to destroy it. My connection, spiritual connection. I know he loved me. I'm going to stumble, I'm going to fall, but I try not to. I ain't perfect. There's a lot of stuff I used to do I want to do again. It just don't feel right. Why don't y'all make it simple for people? To help them understand it's okay. When it's time for you, when you get ready, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'll let it go. I'm telling you, I'm the one got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired to let it go. You get me? I love y'all, and I am going to end this. Good night, family. Tomorrow. Let me see, can I pronounce it right? Because I changed the name. There you go, right? Why no? It's supposed to be more real teen talk. It's saying Be More's real teen talk, but I switched it over to Be More. Just Be More real teen. Let me make sure I'm moving the show out the way. Be More real teen talk. No, Be More teen talk. It told me to remove the real. So I removed the real off it to just Be More teen talk. And then I had on it giving our youth a voice. It was AI that told me to remove giving our youth a voice and put empowering the next generation, our next generation. I said, I like that. I said, I like that, melanated. Be More teen talk. So how can I say it? I just changed the names around. I mean, I wanted to sound more professional. You get me? So it just helped me to reach a more suitable name. rather than me saying Be More's Real Teen Talk Show, Be More Teen Talk. And then the two little dots, right? Empowering our next generation. Said that's a more grabby topic. And then for the couch conversation show, it just told me to put the couch and then put real conversations, real life. Say this is more grabby towards people. But guess what? I'm just trying to be professional as I can. Whether y'all support me or not, guess what? If you look at me and you dislike me, somebody else gonna like it. That's what I realized about life. Everybody just don't get it. I love y'all. It's 8 o'clock. I love y'all. It's 8 o'clock. See you, Baltimore City. See you, Baltimore City.